What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. There's only one job you have. One job we all have. The only job. And all the jobs and all the roles that you take on, your only job, how you do every other job, is to summon the best of who you are. You will not be at peace. You will not be free of anxiety. You will not feel rested until you can truly say to yourself that you are bringing the best, the most alive version of all of those things and all those roles. I heard these exact words, summon the best of who you are, from a recent episode of Brendan Burchard's podcast. And it stuck with me and got me thinking about, if you succeed at anything in life, if you are succeeding, even if you are not seemingly struggling with any area of your life, if you're a great father, a great mother, a great son, husband, wife, if you are a great employee, manager, leader, or solopreneur, there's usually still always a delta in difference in how you are showing up and how much else is left in you. And your only job is to narrow that gap. This is your work. This is your real assignment. So in the moments of rest and pause that do come, or reflection at a later date, you can honestly say to yourself, I brought out the best in me. At least for yourself, you can say that I pushed towards the most of me. And if you can't say that fully, there will always be a slight bit of anxiety in that knowing of the truth. We have a built-in necessity to outperform our last attempts. We have an innate design to grow, to expand, to see more of ourselves come to life. Just look at how every company measures itself, quarter over quarter, year over year. Expected earnings. Everything is based off of some growth that is being expected and priced in. We are on a never-ending process to bloom. And anytime we feel our growth is stunted, or we are satisfied for some reason with our present beauty or our foliage and fruits, soon as we feel complacent, we start to erode because we lose touch with the very fabric of our nature, which is to grow. We need to see ourselves doing the hard things, or else you go adrift, you lose purpose. And then in that losing of purpose, you lose the guiding force that helps you make decisions. Is it this? Is it that? What criteria would you have to decide by if it wasn't one that continually drives you forward to a better you? If you don't have the purpose defined. All of our positive emotion is hinged upon a hope for a better tomorrow. When we lose that, we know the dark places that takes us to. Hinged upon hope, upon knowing what is worthy of aiming at. And within you, you already know the difficult decisions that lead you there, to a better you. Everything else is just a distraction of maintenance. Emerson said, the crime which bankrupts men and nations is turning aside from one's main purpose to serve a job here and there. Everything else is distraction. I often think about my own time employed in jobs. I work for someone else from 2 weeks after leaving high school at 16 years old, all the way to halfway of my 30th year, 14, almost 15 years. And while I continually progressed, took on different jobs, it's only been after I left employment that I realized why people have jobs in the first place. Because it provides you with just enough activity, just enough direction on what to do with your day, that you never really feel the need to figure out what else to do with your life. And the actual act of figuring out what to do with your life is such a daunting task that I am often tempted to subscribe to the illusion of the progress that is a job. And it's not that I couldn't say I brought the best of me. The trap goes even further. Because so many of us operate at 20% capacity, I found myself building bad habits with myself because even at my 20% capacity, I was rewarded with praise and promotions. None of which ever really felt like they hit home. Because there was something inside of me that always felt like something is missing. The truth that I knew I wasn't bringing all of me. Something is out of alignment. Especially, and not in spite of the praise and accolades. What I was learning in my own habits was that bringing just a little of myself was good enough. And I'm not suggesting that everyone goes out and quits their job. It's actually the quite opposite. If you started bringing more of you to work, if you stop dumbing yourself down so to not threaten the status quo of your company culture, then you yourself would soon figure out the next best place for you to land, whether you find that in the same organization or you realize you cannot fully expand your spine and stand tall under that same ceiling. Either way, bringing the best of you or summoning more of you, better of you, would accelerate the inevitable difficulty in the decisions that you must make to satisfy matching your inner desire to your outer world. And sometimes just going to a job every day doesn't allow you to think about all these things. And some of these things are so daunting to go through, to have to be confused about what to do, that sometimes it's better to just go to the job and show up and pretend like you're actually doing something with your life. This might also mean other things for you in your other roles. You might have to do more to continue to expand as a parent, as a sibling, as a child or a caretaker of elderly parents. You might realize and acknowledge the constraints of your current setup and possibly have to admit to yourself the incompatibility of your desires with your current way of doing things, with your current accepted standards. And this is not exactly something you can hide from. Maybe you can be at maintenance for a season, but something inside of you will demand more and not let you rest. And the only reason why this stuck with me is because I have seen in myself and in front of me the consequences of not expecting growth from yourself. No matter what income level you are at, no matter what designation you hold, prince or pauper, anything you wake up to today, no matter how sweet it might be, it will lose its flavor and enjoyment if it's the same thing you have the next day and the next day after that. Even waking up in an oceanfront mansion will soon be something you will have the desire to summon the growth past of. It's good now, but it's just not as good if it's the exact same place you are in a year from now, or 2, or 5. We are not designed to stand still and stagnate. That's how we go extinct. We are designed to keep moving. And to be clear and to reconcile this from the spiritual standpoint in my mind that wants to argue with this, it's not that we ever need to be fixed. We don't need to change. We are not broken. It's more so that we are not yet filling up the space allotted for us. That there are many, many parts of us that are left undiscovered. Almost like the largest forest, of which you have only trekked and trailed through a small percentage of. You are the forest. So it would not be that you need to be anything different. It's more so recognizing and discovering that everything grows here. In every sense of the word. You have abundance of resources available to you. Everything grows here. Many God-given talents and traits and endowments that you can capitalize on. But also the literal sense that everything in nature is in a constant state of growth or decay. And in your time here, your only assignment in life is to water growth, expect growth, and grow. It's in your nature. Or you decay. And unless you know you are growing, unless you know that you are bringing better and better of you, that you are pulling forward through difficulty, through hard choices, through discipline and sacrifices, unless you can really say you are summoning your best self forward, unless you are committed to this one and only job, there will be no peace and very little progress. I love you, family. Stay true always. I'll see you on the next show.